Good morning everyone. Myself Shravya BS. I am going to do presentation on a test for significance of a small sample. So let us start with the introduction. A t-test is a statistical test that is used to compare the means of two groups. It is often used in hypothesis testing to determine whether a process or a treatment actually has an effect on the population of interest or whether two groups are different from one another. We all know that t-test is used with the statistical techniques to compare the means of two groups and helps to know hypothesis testing to determine whether accepted or rejected. So we will move to the meaning of test for significance of small sample. If the sample size is less than 30, that is n less than 30, the sample may be regarded as small sample. The greatest contribution to the theory of small samples was made by Sir William Gosset and R.A. Fisher. Gosset published his discovery in 1905 under the pen name Students, and it is popularly known as t-test or student t-distribution or students distribution, because we know that t-test used for determine the small sample. If the sample size is less than 30, the sample may be known as a small sample. It was developed by William Gosset in 1908. It is also called students t-test because his employer preferred staff to use pen names when publishing scientific papers instead of their real name, so he used the name student to hide his identity. Let's we know the definition. T-test defined as if the sample size n is less than 30, it is known as small sample. For small sample, the sampling distribution are T, F and X square distribution. A study of sampling distribution for small sample is known as small sample theory. As we move on to types of t-test, here three types of t-test. First one sample t-test. Second one, independent two sample t-test. Last one, paired sample t-test. Let's see one by one. First one sample t-test. Here in a one sample t-test, we compare the average of one group against the set average. This set average can be any theoretical value. Here, one sample t-test, we compare the average of one group against the set average. It is used to compare whether the mean of a single variable differs from a specified constant. We can see the example for one sample t-test, that is a research scholar wants to determine if the average eating time for a burger differs from a set value. Let's say this value is 10 minutes. How do you think the research scholar can go about determining this? Firstly, select a group of people. Next, record the individual eating time of a standard size burger and calculate the average eating time for the group. Finally, compare that average value with the set value of 10. One sample t-test using the formula to calculate this. T is equal to m minus mu divided by s divided by root n, where t means t statistic, m means mean of the group, mu is the theoretical value of or population mean, s mean standard deviation of the group, n means group size or sample size. Now let's move on to independent two sample t-test. The two sample t-test is used to compare the means of two different samples. Generally, the two sample t-test is used to compare the means of two different samples. Examples, let's say we want to compare the average height of the male employees to the average height of the female. Of course, the number of males and females should be equal for this comparison. So here two sample t-test is used. Here the formula to calculate the t-statistic for a two sample t-test, S square equal summation x minus ma whole square plus summation x minus mb whole square divided by na plus nb minus 2. Ma and mb are the means of two different samples. Na and nb are the sample size. X square is an estimator of the common variance of two samples. Now let us move on to paired sample t-test. The paired sample t-test is quite intriguing. Here we measure one group at two different times. We compare separate means for a group at two different times or under two different conditions. Now for examples, a certain manager realized that the productivity level of his employees was trending significantly downwards. This manager decided to conduct a training program for all his employees with the aim of increasing their productivity level. How will the manager measure if the productivity levels increased? It is simple, just compare the productivity level of the employees before versus after the training program. Here we are comparing the same sample, the employees at two different times, before and after the training. This is an example of a paired t-test. This formula is T equal M divided by S divided by root n. T means T statistics, M means mean of the group, mu is the theoretical value or population mean, S is the standard deviation of the group, N is the group size or sample size. Now we will see illustration. The heights of 6 randomly chosen soldiers are inches 76, 70, 68, 69, 68 and 69. Those of 6 randomly chosen sealer are 68, 64, 65, 69, 72, 70. Discuss in the light of these data that whether soldiers are on the average taller than sealers. This problem is independent to sample t-test because here we compare the means of two different samples. So compare to height of soldier and sealers. Solution. Let us take the null hypothesis that there is no difference in height of soldier and sealers. HO x bar 1 equal x bar 2. Level of significance, it can be taken 5%, that is A equal 0.05. Next, first we calculate the total height of x1 and x2, that is 421 and 408, and we calculate the x bar 1 and x bar 2. Here 421 divided by 6. 6 is the total number of heights or randomly chosen. Then we get 70 and 408 divided by 6 equals 68. Then applying the t-test, here first calculate the x1 minus x bar 1, that is plus 6, 0, minus 2, minus 1 likewise. Then find out the square root of x1 minus x bar 1 and then calculate the summation x1 minus x bar whole square. Now applying the formula, S equal summation x1 minus x bar whole square plus summation x2 minus x bar 2 whole square divided by n1 plus n2 minus 2 equal root 10 plus 47 divided by 6 plus 6 minus 2. Here 10 is the total number of x1 minus x bar whole square and 47 is the total number of x2 minus x bar 2 whole square. Divided by 6 is the total number of heights equal to root 57 divided by 10 equal to 2.38. Next we apply the t statistic formula, that is t equal x bar 1 minus x bar 2 divided by s into root n1 into n2 divided by n1 plus n2. Here 70 minus 68 divided by 2.38 into root 6 into 6 divided by 6 plus 6 minus 2. Here 70 minus 68 is the x bar 1 and x bar 2. 2.38 is the s value equal 2 divided by 2.38 into root 36 divided by 10 equal 0.84 into root 3.6 equal 0.84 into 1.897 equal 1.59. For 10 degree of freedom, t 0.05 equal 2.23. Next decision. Since the calculated value of t is less than corresponding table value, hence there is no reason to doubt the null hypothesis. Thus, null hypothesis is accepted and it is concluded that these soldiers are not on an average taller than sailors. Here 10 degree of freedom 2.23. We get the result of t is 1.59. So this t is less than corresponding table value. So null hypothesis is accepted. In the conclusion part, I would like to conclude my presentation, that is the student's t-test is a statistical test that compares the mean and standard deviation of two samples to see if there is a significant difference between them. In an experiment, a t-test might be used to calculate whether or not the difference seen between the control and each experimental group are a factor of the manipulated variable or simply the result of chance. Thank you.